Today on Community Cooking, we have guest chef Jeff Levy in the kitchen with us to show us how to make homemade pizza. We're making mozzarella cheese from scratch and homemade pizza dough that's to die for. We're cooking with some of the best chefs from right here in our own community, so grab a seat and get comfortable. We have another great meal for you. This is your Community Cooking. Hi and welcome to Community Cooking. I'm your host Maria Prekeges, and I'm always excited to have this guest chef in the house, Jeff Levy. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Great to be here.
We love having you. We have so much fun. We've become friends over the years, and today you're kind of throwing me for a loop. Homemade pizza dough, and first off, we're going to make homemade mozzarella. Never done it.
You know, who needs a pizzeria anymore? We can make it all.
I love it. Well, and it's, I'm assuming, a little more healthy, everything you make at home.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know what's going in it. You know what I mean? You're not getting a lot of preservatives. You're not getting a lot of additives. You know exactly what goes in it. So it really can be quite healthier, yeah.
I love it. So ingredients, not a lot for the homemade mozzarella.
No, really not at all. We have a gallon of whole milk over here getting warm.
Okay.
You want to use pasteurized, not ultra pasteurized. If you use ultra pasteurized, your cheese won't set right. The closer you can get it to raw, the better.
Oh, okay.
Because you're going to cook it anyway, you're going to, all that stuff. So just a good old gallon of whole milk.
Okay, and then just a few other things.
Yes, we have some citric acid here. You can find this anywhere where they have canning supplies, things like that. They use it a lot when, you know, they're making jellies and things like that.
Oh, okay.
To, you know, preserve it and not to get a lot of bacterial growth.
Okay.
But this, the point of this for the cheese is it's going to start curdling the milk and giving us our curds.
We usually don't want curdled milk anywhere except here when we make cheese.
Yes.
I love, well, let's get it curdled. And then you have a little, it's not your vitamin. What is this on your cutting board?
This is vegetable rennet. And what it does, it helps, once the cheese is curdled, it helps to coagulate the cheese together. You can either get vegetable rennet or animal rennet. Typically you have to order those online. They're kind of hard to find in just your store, but you get a big box of these. So you order one and you can make cheese for 5 years.
Well, and do you like vegetable or animal?
I use vegetable just because I mean, cheese isn't necessarily a vegetarian item, but a lot of vegetarians do eat cheese. And so I like to use the vegetable rennet, just that way it's pure for them.
And they can still eat it and enjoy it.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect. And then just some warm water.
This is some warm water. This is for our pizza dough. We're gonna activate the yeast with that.
Oh, okay.
But first, to get our cheese going, we're going to add a teaspoon and a half of the citric acid to just some cool milk. It doesn't have to, I mean, cool water. It doesn't have to be any temperature or anything like that, just not hot.
Okay.
So once this dissolves,
citric acid, I'm like, whoa, is it good?
Well, you know, it was
citric acid.
It was funny when I went to go find this. You know, we started this as a cooking class for kids.
Oh, how fun!
As a way for a team building youth group activity. Everyone got to make their own pizza, their own dough, their own cheese. So everyone loved it. And then I started making cheese for all our clients for our caterings. And
that's awesome.
You know, people love it. So this is just some citric acid dissolved in the water. We're going to add this to some milk that is slightly warm. And as soon as you add this, you're going to see the milk start to curdle.
Isn't that funny? You do want curdled milk on occasion. This is one of them.
And don't be surprised. I mean, almost instantly you're going to see the milk start to curdle.
Look at that.
And you'll see the change. You'll see it start to leave, you know, on the side of the pan here, the curds. And now what we do is we take
your vitamin. I love it.
This is a whole rennet tablet.
Okay.
We only need a quarter of it for the whole milk.
Okay.
And so we're just gonna chip this here. And again, this can sit in your pantry for a while.
Okay.
And we add this to just another quarter cup of water here and let it dissolve. And again, you can use the animal rennet, the vegetable rennet, whatever you like. So you can, I mean, really look at this already curdle here. So what this does, this is an enzyme basically.
Okay.
And there's a lot of science in this, you know, believe it or
I'm
not.
like, I need to take notes and have my lab coat on.
It's that, and I think the kids kind of liked that too.
Yeah.
You know, it taught them something. So we're just going to add this to this and let it dissolve. And that's really the essence of making the cheese.
See, and here I thought we'd have to just do all this crazy stuff.
What you do now is you want to have a digital thermometer.
Okay.
It's easy to read.
Is that like a candy thermometer? Heat thermometer?
You can
'Cause
have
any
a
digital.
A digital thermometer for me is just easier to read.
Okay.
You know, those candy thermometers, you have to stick in and then it gets up and you
Okay.
can't always see it. I like these. So anyways, you just want to get this to 110 degrees.
Oh, wow.
And it's pretty much already there. Here we go. Look at that. It's already to 105.
Oh, perfect.
So now,
You've done this before.
a couple times, put a lid on it,
Okay.
take it off the heat, set your timer for 10 to 15 minutes, and when that time comes up, you will have seen all the curd separate from the side of the pot.
Really?
And you'll be left, there'll be a yellowish liquid around the cheese curds. And when you use a slotted spoon to get them out and put them in a strainer and let them drain for as long as possible, and this is what you will end up with. This is cheese curds.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Save the whey, which is the liquid that drains off from this, because you can use that to make ricotta. You can, I mean, really, once you get these basic cheese supplies, you can really start to experiment and have a lot of fun making cheese.
Oh, that's so cool, because I would never think, again, I'm like, cheese, whatever, but fun. And like you said, you did it with a bunch of kids, so of course then you bring it to me, of course. But except for the citric acid and the little tablets.
It's all just, and the citric acid you really can find in stores. They have it all over the place anymore and you might even have trouble finding it because people use it to make bath bombs.
Oh, that's funny.
I've
They're
had to go to
big.
quite a
They're
few
big with
stores.
my nieces. But that's so easy. So then it just comes like this after you strain it.
I strained it for, you can strain it overnight, put it in a mesh sieve there or even a colander, and just, drain and drain and drain to where you get just a nice firm curd like this.
Now, and do you work it or you just keep draining it? You don't have to push it down and get all the liquid out?
You can if you're in a hurry, or you can just let it drain overnight. But if you are in a hurry, what you want to do though is press it with enough firmness to where you're getting the liquid out, but you don't want the cheese to go through the bottom.
And then do you refrigerate that while it drains? Does it matter?
You can. Again, it depends on how quick you want to. If you're ready to have cheese and pizza and you're ready to go, then you don't need to refrigerate it.
So then how do we get it from here to here?
Well, that is very easy. We use our friendly neighborhood microwave.
I love it. We love easy here. So he's putting the curds in the microwave and for a minute.
A minute to a minute and a half. You'll really start to see what the longer it heats, the more pliable it becomes. And just the difference here, you will get a little more drainage off of this. You'll get a little more of the whey coming off of it just because as it heats up, it's going to cook out. If you let it sit overnight, in the cheesecloth, that's what that cheesecloth is
I know.
for.
I was like, what's the cheesecloth? Makes sense.
That's what they strain it in.
So, and for a minute, and then are you going to work it a little?
We will. You can either use rubber gloves, because it'll be hot.
Yeah.
So you can either put some rubber gloves on, or I like to just use spoons.
Oh, okay.
And then we salt as we go.
I was going to say.
You're going to sprinkle it. Yeah.
Okay.
They do have cheese salt.
Really?
Yeah. It's just a coarser salt. You can use any salt as long as it's not iodized.
Okay.
So your regular table salt won't work because this again brings us back to the science. What the iodized salt does is it kills the bacteria.
Oh, okay.
In the cheese that we've introduced into the cheese. And if you kill the bacteria, then there goes your cheese.
Oh, I gotcha. I love it.
And this needs just
I
another
like
minute.
this show's awesome. We're learning all the tricks and ins and outs and the science behind it. See, look at that.
And you'll see it starts to form.
And that, after you strain it, it becomes what's in the microwave.
Exactly.
We've just jumped it ahead a little. So
Exactly.
that's so cool. Okay, this is fun and easy, and something I always stress that people not only should sit around a table with friends and family and their loved ones, but get in the kitchen with them and experiment and do some fun things.
Food really should be fun. I think any more food has this, it's taken very seriously.
Yes.
You know, it's become elevated to this point where it's very serious and, you know, have fun with your food. It's meant to be enjoyed. It's meant to be shared with people. It's meant to be, it's love on a plate.
Oh my, I love that. I'm going to write it down. Love on a plate, especially when chef and caterer Jeff Lavia is making it. So there you go.
Let's check on this here. So this has been about 2 minutes.
Okay.
And that's exactly where we want it to be.
Oh yeah, it's smoking.
It is. We're going to drain a little bit more of this excess whey off here. And this is what we're left with. And
It
now
smells pretty good, weirdly enough.
we are making cheese. And as it cools off, it will come together a little bit more.
I want to blow on it for you, but I won't. I'm like, fan it, cool it off. Now, how long do you usually work it and let it cool?
You'll see it start to tighten up. And really, as soon as it tightens up into a ball, that's why you want to heat the curds. And if you notice that it's not tightening up and coming together, throw your curds in for another minute or so.
Okay, so if it's not coming together, heat them up more.
Exactly.
Perfect.
And you'll really start to see that difference.
Oh, yeah. And it's coming together, totally.
And you just, here, actually, let's take it out here and do it right on our board. And it'll get out of that excess water, and you can see it a little better.
Wow, and so that's all mozzarella is.
And see how it's starting to smooth out and tighten up?
It's looking like this mozzarella now. And then when do you salt it?
We can start salting it now, actually.
Okay.
Just go ahead and
Just a
sprinkle a little bit
little?
on there. I like it salty.
Oh, me too. I
And then
love cheese.
you can store this in some salted water for a day or two.
We, being Greek, we eat a lot of feta cheese. So we store that in water and salt and brine. We brine it just so it lasts. Although usually it doesn't last that long in our fridge.
See how it's smoothing out?
Yeah, that's so cool.
And then you just kind of start to form it into a ball there.
Now, will you refrigerate this so you can cut it nicely, or
you
don't have to?
You can put it in a ice bath.
Oh, okay.
To let it set, which would be the next step, but we're not.
Okay.
We probably won't get that far because we're going to eat.
Yeah, and we still have pizza dough to make.
So this is it.
I love it.
And then it'll start to form up here, and now it's cool enough to where I can use my hands.
It's totally it's cheese.
And you just knead it.
He's kneading the cheese. So while Jeff kneads the cheese, I might need some pizza dough, homemade, and a little pizza. So don't go anywhere. When we come back, that's what we're going to make. You're watching Community Cooking.
Let's hear it for hands. They can turn lights off at home and at work during a heat wave, or even set the AC to 78 or higher, which, if state officials call a flex alert, will come in very handy indeed.
Welcome back to Community Cooking. If you're just tuning in, I'm your host, Maria Prekeges, with our dear friend and guest chef and caterer, Jeff Lavia. I got to get it all in. You do a lot.
We do. Hey, got 2 catering companies now.
I love it. Well, thank you for squeezing us into your schedule.
Always my pleasure.
We just made homemade mozzarella, and it's the coolest thing ever. It's the coolest thing, and now we're going to put it on homemade pizza dough.
A super quick homemade pizza dough.
Well, because, you know, I was reading the scripts beforehand, doing my homework on you, of course, and I'm like, homemade cheese and homemade pizza dough, you've got to be kidding me. But if you say it's easy, and the cheese was super cool and easy, so.
Dough is even easier.
All right.
So we have 2 tablespoons of honey here.
Okay.
And what we're going to add is 1 package of dry yeast, dry active yeast.
Now, what's active, non-active? Does it,
Well, you want the, I mean, yeast is a living thing. It's what helps to, it's the main leavening agent in this. So it's what helps to give it the bubbles. It's what it interacts with everything in there. I mean, it's more science. If you want to,
okay, I love
if you want a science geek out, we can go down that whole route.
I love it. Like I said, I need my white lab coat. So
it feeds off the sugar, and what it does, it helps the bread rise, and then it feeds off the air in there, and it gives you the bubbles and a nice fluffy crust.
So cool. So active yeast.
Active dry yeast.
It goes to the gym, but I'm punched. You know me.
We have honey here. You can also use sugar, but the yeast feeds off the sugar or the honey. So you do need one or the other.
Well, and does it make a big difference? Because honey's, you know, liquid and sugar's not.
Because you're going to add the water.
Oh, okay.
This is warm water. You want it to about 110 degrees. So you really do want a good thermometer for this whole process, because you need to measure the temperature of the milk in there, that stuff. And
That
then,
white stuff in there.
and then you need to measure your temperature of the water for this.
Well, and let's step back. The milk, there's a person at the farmer's market that, because you said you don't want pasteurized milk for this.
Ultra pasteurized.
Ultra pasteurized. And there is someone at the farmer's market who has non-pasteurized milk. So would that be great for?
The closer you can get to raw milk like that, the better.
Okay. We love our farmer's market.
And we're just gonna add this here.
Okay.
And
Easy
then
enough.
what's gonna happen is this will dissolve here.
And then the other ingredients, again, not a lot. We have all our pizza toppings, of course, but flour?
Flour, we're gonna add that. The yeast will start to activate here. The warm water with the honey, you'll start to see this foam. I mean, it will literally come to life.
I love it.
It's very
We are
sciencey.
geeking out today.
We are.
We are. How much? I mean, cooking. We always talk, especially you do, that you have to love it and make it fun. But this is fun, and you learn more things about it. And I mean, my grandmother used to make homemade bread, but other than that,
You could let this rise longer, and it could become focaccia.
oh really?
Yeah, this is
that's
really
so
a great general all-purpose quick rise bread.
Well, while that's sitting, I see all these beautiful vegetables from the farmer's market. I'm throwing you the onion. You know that, don't you? I don't cut onions.
So we're just going to cut these up for our pizza. I figured we could make a nice vegetarian pizza. Again, please throw on some salami or some pepperoni or some prosciutto or some spicy capicola, whatever you like.
He's gonna kill me. Canadian bacon and pineapple. I love that pizza, and
I do
people
too.
just think I'm crazy good.
I do
See,
too.
That's why we get along.
Especially if you throw a little jalapeno on there.
Oh yeah, well, of course we like things spicy. I do the red crushed pepper on everything.
Yeah.
So do you like your mushrooms just sliced?
Yeah. That's all you got to do is just slice them up.
And they cook up quick anyway on top
And
of
what
the pizza.
what's kind of fun about this? Say you were having a group of people over and you wanted to do a little activity as something to entertain people. Everyone can make their own pizza dough. Everyone can make their own cheese. You just have all the toppings set out and you just throw them in the oven.
Oh, how fun! That would be very fun.
Good for a kid's slumber party or something like that when you don't know what to do with them.
Or adults when you don't know what to do with them.
Exactly. Especially you throw a little wine in there and it becomes quite fun.
Oh, that's where I was going with it. What the heck? That's so cool.
So we're just going to slice these up here.
And my mushrooms, I don't do stems on the mushrooms, sorry.
It's
They
quite
go
all
to the
right.
side, but I do like tomatoes on my pizza. Sometimes, my father used to just love the tomatoes after. He hated cooked tomatoes for some weird reason.
Really?
So we sprinkled them on after if there was a lot of different vegetables that were cooking up. So it was kind of cool.
Tomatoes, one of those things, people, they have a love-hate relationship with them. They either like them cooked or raw or...
Yeah, or they like the juice, or they hate the,
Yeah.
the tomato soup. Tomatoes, slicing, I'm trying to think how I want them on my pizza.
You can slice them. We can make two different pizzas if you want. We can kind of make I went to a Greek restaurant not too long ago.
Oh, oppa, there we go. Did you hear that?
And they did I don't know if it was a Greek-style pizza, but instead of tomato sauce, it was just olive oil and fresh tomatoes and cheese.
And almost my finger. So we will do one of those for sure. I like meat on pizza too, but I like things simple.
Yeah.
So olive oil. I had a salad pizza once in
Really?
this town. Yeah.
That would be...
It was kind of like a vinaigrette salad. I mean, it was basically salad with some good
Dough.
but I thought it was cool at the time. So I have mushrooms. I'm going to cut a few more. I should cut them more bite-sized, but that's all right.
That's okay.
Don't look at how I cut sometimes.
And we're starting to see the
bubbles.
bubbles here, and that's what we're looking for. That means the yeast is getting nice and active. It'll start to foam up. And then we just add flour to this and combine.
That's so easy. Again, so easy. So we have to wait on that a little bit, but then we'll add our flour here. I'm going to put
Cut
you to
some bell
work.
pepper.
I like orange best because, they are like usually the most expensive one.
It's true. Pizza's one of those things where you can make it really pretty. It's kind of like a canvas.
But then when you try to eat it, it goes all over, which is okay. I do my toppings first and then my crust. Don't judge.
So we're starting to get a nice little foam here.
Okay.
So we're going to add our flour. This, I believe, is about 2.5 cups of just all-purpose flour. We're going to add this here.
Wait, I love it. All-purpose. What else purpose would you have? It's all-purpose flour.
And then we add some olive oil here. About
I
2
have that for
tablespoons
you.
of olive oil.
Next to the pizza cutter, I'm ready. I'm ready.
And then we're going to add a pinch of salt.
That cheese is just so, I'm still in awe over that. I'll be in awe over this when it's all made.
And we just mix this up here.
Now, are you going to need your cutting board there, my friend?
No,
No? Oh.
we can separate this into a couple different rounds, and you can make a pizza, and I can make a pizza.
Perfect.
See how this comes together?
Oh my gosh, it's so easy.
Really quick. And you just want to get it to the point. Now, I have clean hands.
I know you do.
And clean hands are a cook's best friend, so I'm actually going to use my hands here because it makes it a lot.
Makes it a lot easier.
And there should be a little more flour.
Okay. And then the cornmeal is for when we put it on the plate?
On the sheet pan.
On the sheet pan.
Yes.
Yes. Now, do you want to sometimes dust a little with flour?
Yeah, you would dust
Okay.
this a little bit here. But now we just let it raise a little bit.
Okay.
You want it sticky, but not...
So sticky you can't
Yeah,
work with it?
yeah.
Okay.
And then that just kind of does its thing for a couple minutes, and it'll rise.
That's so awesome.
And we have dough all over our hands.
Well, because you're going to continue to have it. So that's why I was going to wipe off my cutting board and get all ready. I'll even wipe yours off a little bit for all of that. It's super cool and so easy. I mean, like 4 ingredients.
Yeah, and
That's
it's
it.
easy and ready to go.
I love it.
So we're just going to add a little bit of
Okay.
flour here. And it makes it a little bit easier to work with here.
I don't know what I'm going to put. Oh, you're going to do olive oil, cheese, and tomato.
So
I'll
we
do
got our
red sauce.
pizza. This is exactly where you want it. Just that
Okay.
little extra bit of flour here. I have a pizza, a cookie sheet in the oven. Yeah.
Now, my parents used to do that. They used to preheat cookie sheets for a lot of different items. So for this, you definitely want to.
Yes, you do.
Okay. Should I grab that now?
Yeah, and it's going to be
Okay.
very hot, so please be careful.
I got my mitts, don't you know? I'm ready to go.
Cut our pizza dough in half here.
Hot stuff. And the pan's warm too.
There you go. That's what I was going to say.
Well, I'm talking about you now.
Took my line.
okay.
A little more flour here, just so we
Okay.
can make it easy to
Ooh,
work
I'm
with.
getting my, I'd say facial, but I'll let you
A little more here.
pound out the dough, roll out the dough. and
We're going to
so-
put some cornmeal down on
Okay.
the,
I'm going to hold on to this just
and
a
this is just it helps it not to stick.
Oh, okay. So you don't want like a spray.
You could, but I actually like the texture because cornmeal will get on the bottom of the dough.
Oh, I was going to say.
So I
kind of-
actually like that texture that it gives it. So we just put this on here.
All right, be careful, it's hot.
And
Oh,
just-
so you just spread it out on
Yeah.
there?
I'm a thin crust kind of guy here. Maybe a little more flour there if you don't mind.
With my mitts. So you could roll it out a little, or roll it out, just push it out there, or just right on. I love
Yeah.
that.
I mean,
Easy.
why dirty more? And you know,
And
kind
it's
of give it a nice
rustic.
thick rustic. Exactly.
That's so awesome.
And we're doing 2 here, 1 for you and 1 for me.
I wonder which
And-
one I'm going to take. Ah ha ha.
And if you like it thinner, you know, stretch
Yeah.
it out more. If you like it thicker,
Okay,
that's
so
kind of the beauty
easy.
of it.
All right. I'm going to give you some olive oil.
Are you gonna go with the tomato sauce there?
I am.
Here's a spoon for you.
Oh, thank you. I'm not just going to pour it on like there's no tomorrow.
So just a little bit of
You'll
oil
do
on
olive oil.
this.
I'm going to do a little sauce.
Isn't it
and-
fun to make your own pizza?
I
and
love it. Like you said, it's so great for a party, whether it's kids or adults.
It really is. It gives the kids something to do. It gives the adults something to do while they're having their wine and enjoying, and then you get to eat it.
Well, yeah, you get your finished product. I like a lot of sauce, by the way. I'm a little saucy.
Yeah, that's
I like a lot of sauce. Okay.
And you can either leave your cheese, since we're doing this one with pieces of tomato. I'm just gonna put pieces of cheese on here.
I'm going to do cheese first because we have to use the cheese on both, of course.
You can break it up. You can leave it whole, whatever you like. And that's the great part also about making your own cheese. You can shape it however you like as well.
I can't believe we made cheese. Well, you made, and I was in awe. So let's just go there, where you can never have enough cheese on a pizza. And this is, I mean, really quite healthy.
Yeah, it really is.
Mozzarella is one of the most low-fat cheeses out there, too, but
And you could make it with a lower fat milk,
okay.
but it I like the flavor of the whole milk.
I'm doing cheese and mushroom. Darling, I love my mushrooms.
I like a little pizza there. I like mushrooms too.
All right, well, these are going to go in the oven. Great time for a break. When we come back, my favorite part, tasting. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Community Cooking. Welcome back. All right, Jeff, our beautiful pizzas on our homemade dough, homemade mozzarella. I'd like to taste mine, please. Will you do the honors? I love it. It looks so good. And look, happiness is homemade.
There you go. It's going to be good and hot.
It's going to be good and hot, but I'm not afraid. Okay, that dough is so good. And the mozzarella, seriously, make it at home. It's awesome.
And super easy and really a lot of fun.
See, I have to kind of pick one off the top. In my bad ways, my bad habit. And beautiful. Look at how nice these turned out.
You can even divide these up into 4 pizzas if you want to do smaller ones.
Okay, for
or
your
one
guests.
big one.
So much fun and so easy. Thank you so much for coming in. Your recipes were amazing as usual.
My pleasure.
On behalf of Jeff, myself, and the entire crew, thank you so much for joining us. And remember, we really do have some of the best chefs right here in our own community. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Community Cooking.
If you'd like a copy of the recipes seen on this show, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope to the Office of Cable and Community Relations. That's 3350 Civic Center Drive, Suite 200, in Torrance, California, 90503. Be sure to note the show number displayed on the screen. And don't forget, you can find all the fresh ingredients used on today's show at the Farmers Market. Visit the one here in Torrance at Wilson Park. That's located at 2200 Crenshaw Boulevard. They're open every Tuesday and Saturday from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m., rain or shine. And if you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us at communitycooking@torranceca.gov and check us out online at youtube.com/TorranceCityCable and like us on Facebook at Community Cooking TV.